my live broadcast in YouTube. The name once again is Okonji Christopher. Say I'm highly elated to be with you at this. It's a weekend, and I don't know how you spend your weekend. Like one of our Italian friends we used to have those days in Nigeria, during the days of, construction in Nigeria. Those Italians, mafians that constructed the, the River Niger Bridge and the Benway Bridge and most of our bridges. Hello. Oh, Muha Sai. Hi. How are you? It's good to get you connected at this time. How are you doing? I'm happy to have you around. Highly elected. Each time I come live, you are ever ready, waiting for me. How are you? How was your football exercise today? Let's talk about the football. How did it go? I hope you have some, good time during your football, I mean, rehearsals today. How did it go? Can we hear a little bit of how your football went today? I hope you have some nice time. Let me know. How did you unwind on your weekend? You went to play football. How did it go? I hope you had some nice time. Okay. It was good. Okay, that's good. Is it a friendly match? Or you don't this roadside football you went to play? Are you in a team? Are you in a team? Okay, that's good. If you are in a team, then you are a footballer. Hmm? Or is it roadside football? Or are you bracing up to join the Indian team so that you can play for Indian national team? We'll be happy to come and cheer you up, looking at you as one of our young talents that are coming up. Tell me a little bit about. Tell me about the football. Tell me about the football match today. You love football. Okay, that's good. Tell me more. How did you? Born into football. How comes you love football? And are you in the national team, or you are still grooming, coming up to brace up for the national team? Tell me more. How is football in India? I don't know that India has played football, but not on national level because I've never seen Indian team playing in the national World Cup or international football. I know there's a way you people play your football. Tell me more. What's the time in Nigeria? Well, it's to 6 right now. Some few minutes to 6. I came on air to 6 so that we can spend 1 hour plus before day gets dark. Tell me about the national team in India. I was saying that Indians don't come for international matches, but because there's a way you people play your matches. What can you say about that? You people have the talent, but you are not allowed to come on national team. I've never seen an Indian team on national team before. Tell me more about it. And you love football. How do you people express yourself? Is it only on your country level or on your continent level? You don't go for continental matches. India does not go for national matches. China does not go for national matches. But Korea goes. Both of you all come from the same continent. Tell me more. What happened to your national team that goes for national competition? India doesn't have to go for national team. China doesn't have to go for national team. How comes you people were cut off from national football? Can you tell me more? And how are you coping with that challenge? How do you cope with that challenge and your love for football? Let's talk a little bit now, right now. Muhasai, if you are there, can you talk with me? It's nice talking with you, you know. I get to know you better. I don't play football. In my days, while growing up, I don't play football. I like table tennis. But if you love football, then you must be looking up on national level. How do you cope with that? Your country does not go for national level of football. How is it over there? Well, while I wait for you anyway, this evening, I want to talk about my country, Nigeria. You see, I've been talking so much about happenings in my country, because I'm not happy with the present state of life in Nigeria. Remember, I'm a human rights activist because I run an NGO for children called Save the Education and Health of the Child Foundation. So I'm a human rights activist in the area of the education and health of the child. I see to the welfare of the child in his area of his education and health. I'm also an advocate. I'm advocating for a better Nigeria because Nigeria is not where it ought to be at this level. Life is difficult. Life is difficult in Nigeria. I'm telling you, the poverty rate in Nigeria is alarming. It's growing day by day. Hunger is increasing. The land of Nigeria right now is not longer for the poor, but for the rich. Things are quite expensive. Life is unbearable. But in the mix of that, we are still surviving. I titled my message today, Poverty Amidst Plenty. There's poverty in the mix, in the middle of plenty. Nigeria is blessed in both human and natural resources. Yes, we have one of the best talents, in the whole world. Yeah. Nigeria is known. Nigeria is rated. But yet, poverty is still looming in the land. It's a thing of concern. It's a thing of getting, of destabilizing the minds of someone that is creative like me. So I take it as a point of duty to say, well, I advocate for a better Nigeria. But I see a Nigeria that is coming up, that is looking forward one day to rule the world. Yeah, I believe so much in it, with every ounce of. Yeah, I don't know the poverty level of India right. Yeah, I don't know the poverty level of India right now, but I know in my days facing a high level of poverty. I don't know how, the average life in India is faring. But I'm going to talk about poverty in the land. Poverty is not just you not having money in your hands. I was talking in the morning that health is wealth. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. Health is not just that you don't have money. Health is when you are mentally sound and the people are sound and the economy of the country is buoyant. That is good health. But when all these things are not in place, there is poverty. Like the Bible said in 3 John 2, God said, I wish above all things, I'm paraphrasing right now, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health as your soul prospers. So it's the will of God for us to prosper. But when one talks about prosperity, what comes to one's mind is you begin to think about money. Money is one aspect of prosperity, but it's not all. It's not all. It's one aspect. It's one aspect of prosperity. So when you have money and you don't have good health, you cannot enjoy the money. So that's poverty on its own. So poverty is not just the state of your pocket, whether you have plenty or not, but poverty is also the state of your mind, your body, your soul, spirit. Remember what God said in 3 John 2. Say, I wish above all, which means God's thoughts for you is plenty, abundance. I wish above all that you prosper and be in health as your soul prospers. So prosperity is all encompassing. It's in the state of your mind, the state of your body, of your pocket. So when a man does not have money, is mentally derailed. You see, the whole thing about life is, finding expression in every aspect of your life. For you to express yourself fully, you need money. There's money for you to express yourself. Tell me about the state of India. How is the state of India, the poverty level in India, is it improving right now? What can you tell me? Talk to me about India. Is the poverty level in India, improving? People are coming out of poverty. Because I know those days when I was a young boy, India used to be rated as one of the poorest nations with poverty rate. But Nigeria right now is hit by the storm of poverty. So we are going through the crunch of hard times. So I was just talking with my wife this afternoon, the rate of how things are going up. There's so much, so much things happening. Unlike when we were young boys, it wasn't like that. A loaf of bread you can get for $2.50. You want to get it, it's almost 2,000. So when you look at it, how do the people fare? The cost of living is going high every day. Cost of goods and services is going high every day. And when they say when the goods and services go up, we are in the middle of inflation. Goods are going up every day, services are going up every day. There's poverty in the land, and one excruciating pain is that salaries are not going up. Understand? When goods and services are going up, salaries are not going up. So how are we living in the midst of this excruciating, time that we find ourselves? That's one of the things I'm going to be looking at right now. Poverty in the midst of plenty. You see, Nigeria is blessed with both natural and human resource. We are blessed in every field. Is it in medicine? We are there. Is it in football? We are there. Is it in, you name it. Is it in acting? We are there. In every aspect and sphere of life, you can find Nigerians expressing themselves. Finding expression. But we are still going, through the pain of poverty. Like I said, poverty in the mix of plenty. How do you define that? In the mix of where you have plenty, but you are still suffering lack. So what is the bottom line right now? Is that there's mismanagement. There's nepotism. There's greed. Our leaders are wanting to enrich their pockets on the detriment of the citizens. So you see, they want to amass wealth for themselves. They want to live above, the capacity of the masses. Their interest is not in the masses. Their interest is in themselves. So you see, poverty is looming everywhere. And there's a crying in the land. So these are all things that are affecting us as a people. And we are actually, suffering in the mix of plenty. No, it's actually a taboo, and it's actually a misnomer that you have plenty, and you are still suffering. Imagine you you have plenty to feed your people, but there's mismanagement. That is what they call poverty in the midst of plenty. When there's plenty in the land, but mismanagement is the order of the day. So the rate in which our government is mismanaging our resources has brought our economy down to the level that we find ourselves. And we all are not happy about the situation of life. Life is, an average Nigerian is living below, $1. So you see, it's actually a misnomer. How do we navigate in the mix of plenty and there's poverty in the land? Talk to me, Muasai. Can you tell me something about India? How is the level of life in India? Talk to me. I want to hear you talk. So you see, it does not really help the situation of the country. A lot of things are below life expectation. the life expectancy right now has reduced. It's no longer, you know, 50, or 50 years or so you are retired, or 50, or 55 years, or 60 years. But right now, people are being retired even at the age of 45. Because why? Every year, the country is releasing, I mean, young graduates from our schools. They are going on youth corps and they are all littered all over our streets looking for job. So I treated the topic the other time. Nigeria right now, the Nigerian youth see, they see education as a scam. Don't look at me like that. Why will a country that is blessed with human and natural resources see education as a scam? Why it is said that education is the bedrock of our society, which means a nation that is educated is enlightened. A nation that is educated is going somewhere to happen. But it's not longer the case. Okay, you see, so the situation right now in the country is so bad, and imagine a child going through the 4 walls of primary school, finishing and going through the 4 walls of the secondary school. You know how many years you have spent? Almost 5, 12 years or so, or 15 years of, going through the 4 walls, and you come out no job to do. So right now, there's alternative that the youths are looking at right now. It's good for me to go and learn handwork. Get skill acquisition right now is the in thing. The young people are going to get skills, skills that can help them. Because I know in Europe and America right now, when you go out there, people want to know what you can do with your hands. We are coming back to that time whereby, it's what you can do with your hands that matters right now. How skillful are you? Children are going right now to learn one skill or the other. Skill acquisition right now is the in thing. I don't know what is obtainable in India. Can you talk to me, Muhazai? What is obtainable in your own part of the world? In India. Is it the same thing? I'm here. Please, can you like my live stream? Like my live stream. Comment. Please like the live stream. Also, give me a thumb up if you are there. Let me know you are there, please. And make sure you subscribe. Thank you for liking the like. If you have not liked my live stream, can you like it? Make me know that you are there. So you see, poverty and mixed plenty is a whole topic on its own. When you look at it, which means there's plenty in the land, but there's still poverty looking at the people. What do they do to come out of the excruciating pain of poverty? People now begin to look out for means on how to swim out. There comes a time in life, once in our lifetime, we come across bends in our life. Bends is the storms of life, stopping you from advancing to your destination. Remember, life is a destination. We all are going somewhere. But along the way paths, there's roadblocks. So when you encounter roadblocks, you begin to negotiate. And that's what is happening right now in our country right now. I think our youths are negotiating the bends. I can see that, I was just discussing with my wife the rate of poverty in the land, the way things are going up. That is the time that God has chosen to also bless our youths. Social media is doing our youths well. Most of them are finding succor. Burying themselves in the social media to find expression, and it's paying out. I see most of them are cashing out, and they are helping their society. They are helping the society. So that shows us a demarcation between the youths and the old people that are facing away. Remember, I said I defined what the definition of a youth is. A youth is not your age. A youth is not age. You could be 100 years, but as long as you have a mindset of advancement, you are a youth. So youthfulness is not all about age. A man of 100 years could still be a youth. It's a mindset. So don't look at me even right now. So I was talking about, our youths, in the mix of poverty. You can see that our youths are negotiating the bends of poverty. I've not seen any like in my live stream. Please, as you come up, can you like my live stream? Can you comment? Can you give me a thumb up? Can you subscribe? Can you press the notification button? Let me know that you are there. Of course, I am here. Social media is giving them an alternative of making wealth. It is only in my day that I see that our young people are big billionaires and millionaires. They are cashing out in social media. They are using what they have to get what they want. So in the mix of storm, what is required for you to come out of the storm is what do you have in your hands. And, well, and that's what the youths are doing. I remember the story of Moses. When they came to the Red Sea, they were coming from a storm. Egypt itself is a storm. Getting to the Red Sea, they got stuck. That's another storm. They have to negotiate to come out from that bend. And the people began to cry to Moses, have you brought us here to die? I didn't know grapes in Egypt. And Moses began to cry to God. What did God tell Moses? He said, Moses said, God said, why are you crying to me? Tell the people to keep going. So you see, in the mix of the storm, we have to keep going. It is said that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Muazai, are you there? Can you talk with me? Are you talk back, or are you not enjoying my topic of discourse? Oh, shucks. So in the mix of the storm, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. That's what they told us those when we were young boys. And that's the truth. So in the mix of the storm, you don't give up. You keep going. You keep navigating through, trying to pass through the storm to get to success. Success, you're not far from success. Success is accessible, even in the mix of the storm. I thought so much about that. You see, it's your storm that God will use to do a miracle. And I see that happening in my country, Nigeria. Our youths are taking advantage of the storm through the social media, and they are cashing out in YouTube. I'm telling you, the young millionaires we have in this country right now are young boys like Davido and the like. They are really cashing out. So you see, in the mix of a storm, God makes a way where there seems to be no way. So a lot of things are happening. I mean, in the mix of poverty, plenty in the mix of poverty, people are cashing out. So what do you do in the mix of the storm matters. Are you going to give up in the mix of the storm? No. God does not want us to give up in the mix of the storm. The storm is your access to the breakthrough. People go through life. I've preached this topic. People go through all kind of things. But it's not time for them to give up. It's the time to keep holding on. And that's what our youths of today are doing. I'm telling you, the poverty rate in Nigeria is alarming. And it's only survival for the fittest. If you are not fit to survive this, I'm telling you, the poverty will just do away with you. Right now in Nigeria, we don't have middlemen. In those days, in my years as a young boy, I know we have rich men, we have the middle class, we have the poor people. But right now, there's no middle class. It's either you are poor or you are rich. So in short, the country is meant for the rich. The rich will keep getting richer, and the poor will get what? Keep getting poorer. But how do people survive in the mix of this challenging time? It's one of the things that beat the eyes that one is actually looking at. I don't know the poverty rate. So I was talking in the morning that a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. When the people are healthy in their mind and in their thinking, they will do better things, and the nation will move accordingly. But in the mix of poverty, even your mind, you see, poverty starts from the mind. Because the Bible says, a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So but you can see right now that but in my own country, it's a different case. Nigerians are swimming out. I applaud the youths of today. They are finding a way because God made a way and they discovered it. If they did not discover it, they will still remain where they are. So when you see me talk about the poverty rate, I'm a voice to the voiceless. I'm an eye for those that don't have an eye. I'm an advocate advocating for a better Nigeria. I see in Nigeria which builder and maker and founder is God. I don't see Nigeria in the state of what it is today. I see Nigeria, in years to come, that Nigeria will rule the world. I keep saying it. Some say, what is running? So when you look at it very well, you look deeply, you will know that Nigeria is blessed. Nigeria is blessed in both human and natural resources. We have not ceased to become what God has called us to be. We are at the Horn of Africa. Nigeria is situated at the Horn of Africa. Look at the map of Nigeria very well. So Nigeria is sitting under a gunpowder. Please give me a like my live stream. Please, if you are watching me, give me a like my live stream, give me a comment, subscribe to my channel, and please press the notification button so that when I drop a video, you go and watch. I drop interesting videos. I drop captivating videos that makes you hold on, even at the verge of you giving up. I will not allow you to give up. I've come across, through live streaming, I've come across people that told me they are tired of life and they want to commit suicide. I said, suicide is not an option. How dare you think about suicide? How dare you think about suicide? In Nigeria, we're not thinking about suicide. We're living to expectation. We're living to the challenge of the time. So it is said that when the tough gets going, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So you see, Nigerians are strong people. So you see, Nigerians are strong people. We are built to go through the hard times and to come out of it. So Nigeria is a typical example to know that God has not designed hard times to kill us. Nigeria is a typical example, like I talked about the storm of life. The storm of life to kill you or to destroy you, but it's to shape you for where you are going to. And out of your storm comes your miracle. So that's why I have the confidence to tell you that with the storm that my country, Nigeria, I see a seed of a miracle being planted that's going to be, right now it's going to be harvested at the fullness of time. So with what we are going through in Nigeria and we are enduring and going through it, is to build, someone says capacity building. It's not easy, but we are going through this. So we can put Nigeria through the eye of a needle, we will come out. That's why you can find Nigerians scattered all over the world. In every part of the world, you must see a Nigerian. And when you see a Nigerian, they are doing well. Every part of the world you go, you see a Nigerian, they are doing well. They are hardworking. They are equal to the tax. They are surviving. We see survival as is meant for the fittest. So why won't God use this country as a measuring line, reach out to the whole world? Because Nigeria has gone through so much. As a country, there was a time when Nigeria was, before Nigeria became independent, we know how we suffered as a nation. The people were living and they were living under harsh economic reality during the colonial days. We were denied of our rights. I remember our parents were sold into slavery. The mark of slavery, the pain of slavery is still yet to be taken away from our minds, as Africans. Someone was saying it the other day, colonialism has done so much damage to us that we have lost our identity. But I thank God for Nigeria. Look at countries like Kenya. My wife was in Kenya the other day, and she told me when you go to Kenya, the people are living exactly like whites. You can hardly find a tribe in Kenya that still keep their culture. Even Nigerians were trying, except the Mosaics. Those are the equivalent of the Fulanis we have here, the Mosaic. These are the people that they fought colonialism in their days. They still maintain their culture. The whole of Kenya, East Africa, have imbibed the white culture. So we have thrown our identity. Our culture is what gives us identity. Our land gives us posture. So when the white people came, they divided us. They gave us their language. They gave us their culture and their style. But I still praise Nigeria for Nigeria. We still maintain our culture. That's why Nigeria can still stand. We have over 770 something local governments in Nigeria, and how many tribes scattered all over, you know, but we still have our identity and our culture in place. So Nigeria is great. Most countries of Africa are not like that. Like Kenya, I gave you an example right now. They've lost it all. So in the mix of that, there's still this colonial mentality that is still going on in us. But I'm happy about what is happening right now. Africans are beginning to realize themselves right now. Even in the mix of poverty, they are beginning to, I mean, retrace their footsteps back to reclaiming back their identity. I'm happy about what's happening in the Sahel region of Burkina Faso with President Ibrahim Traore. That guy is doing so much, just 35, and is reclaiming back the land of Africa. They are spearheading, repatriation back to Africa. They are spearheading a united Africa, and I see that is happening. The spirit of oneness and Africanness is coming back, because this is long time. This is what colonialism has done into us. It has eaten deep into us. And I remember those days, our freedom fighters, they sang, people like Bob Marley saying, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That is not just a lyric of a song, it's a strong word. We must emancipate ourselves. And none but ourselves that can free our mind. Nobody can free us from mental slavery. It's only we that can free ourselves. For Christ's sake. So you see, Africans are retracing back their footsteps. Like one of my pastors those days would say, well, I don't speak English, I use it. Because it's not my first language. I use English to express myself. It's widely spoken. English is not my language. It was forced on me. It's a borrowed language. My language is my dialect that I speak. I'm an Igbo man. So I speak Igbo. You understand what I mean? That is what I was brought up with. That was what I was conceived in. And I understand that, and I'm proud of it. So we are retracing back our footsteps again with what is happening in Burkina Faso right now. The whole system is changing. Please, can someone talk to me? If you are there, can you give me a thumb up? Give me a like the live stream. Let me know you are there. Can you contribute? I want to hear your own part of what the discourse is. I'm talking about, poverty in the mix of plenty. Have you ever had yourself, you have so much in your land and you are still hungry? What a pathetic thing. All because of mismanagement and lack of unity amongst the people. Poverty in the mix of plenty. There is poverty in the land of Nigeria where I find myself. So much poverty. But I'm telling you, with so much poverty, there's knowledge that is coming. God said, there will be so much trouble on the earth and knowledge will increase. That is the time that we find ourselves. You see, in the mix of. So, you see, I like what one of our youth was saying. Most of them are not realizing, well, in the midst of the toxicity of the economy, people are diversifying. People are still conquering the economy. There are people that are still making headways. So we don't look at how tough the economy is, but you know what? We look at how we can swim out in the mix of the challenging times. It is said that tough time, actually, this tough time we find ourselves will not last, but it's a tough people last. Tough time don't last, but tough people do last. So in the mix of the, challenging don't last, but tough people do last. So in the mix of the, challenging time, we want to see how we can swim out. We don't have to stay back and cry. God does not want people that cry. God does not want people that are. Thank you for liking my live stream. Can you tell me what part of the earth you are connecting from? Please, if you are joining me. So that's why I like what God told Moses. When the people were at the Red Sea, they cried to Moses, say, have you brought us here to die? And Moses said, be still and see the salvation. I like Moses. Moses was a meek man. He said, be still and see the salvation of the Lord. See what God will do. And God actually, stood for the people. When Moses cried to God, God said, why are you crying to me? Tell the people to keep going. So which means in the mix of the pain and the harsh economic reality, people are still striving. So that's to show how much that is inside of you. Remind you, God does not cause scarcity, but God uses it to leverage his people. God is not the causative agent of scarcity. Let me give you an example. There was a famine in the land of, what's that place again? There was a famine in, what is this place again? I've forgotten the land again. There was a famine in this, and the people were so hungry. There's a story in the Bible where there was famine. I've forgotten the name of that country, that place again. But there was famine in the land, up to the level that people were eating their children, giving their children in exchange. And it was the time of Elisha. And the two women that were giving their children in exchange to eat just to survive poverty, came to the king and said, "King, this is the situation of the country, up to the level that we are eating up our children." And what did the king say? He said, "Even if God cannot help you, what can I do for you?" See, our government cannot help us in the country that we find ourselves. I was opportune to be a guest speaker in a discourse, and the person, my host was telling me, how do you think that the youths will survive in this economy? And I told him, well, in the midst of the harsh economic reality, that's when people learn how to swim out of it. In the mix of that, people, God uses the situation of the Samaritan famine, to enrich the people. A word came from Elijah and said, at this hour, there will be plenty in the land. Even the man, the security man doubted it. He said, even if God will open up the gate of heaven, he doesn't believe. And Elijah told him, you will see it with your eyes, but you will not partake of it. What happened? It actually happened. The man saw plenty in the land. In the mix of plenty, the man was crushed on the ground. So you don't doubt what God can do. In the mix of scarcity, that is when God is at work. In the mix of scarcity, God is always at work. I gave you the Samaritan example right now. When there was scarcity, that was when God moved and plenty came in. So if there's scarcity in your life at a season, know that God is at work. God works with the storm. I've taught this here many times. So when the enemy felt is bringing storm to destroy you, that is when God will use the storm for a miracle. That's the way God works. That's the way the system of the kingdom of God works. I give you an example of the eagle bird. When the eagle bird, glides in the midst of the storm. Lower birds don't fly in storms, but the eagle bird sees the storm as an opportunity to glide in it, to spread its wings and glide. And you see, I give you another example again. The eagle bird, raises its children, the eaglets, under a comfort of the nest. But when it comes a season of time that the eaglet need to be set free to fend for himself, the mother eagle will begin to train them to fly. And the way of training them to fly is so pathetic. He will take them up, lift them up, and throw them. Allow them to fall. They will be falling. As they are falling, the mother eagle will come below and pick them up again and take them to a high level again and release them. So you see, in the mix of the storm, the baby eaglet learns how to spread his wings. That is what. So I'll use again this. In the midst of scarcity, that was when Joseph was lifted. Yeah, in the midst of scarcity, he was made the second in command in Egypt. Remember, there was scarcity when Pharaoh had a dream and he didn't understand the dream he had. Joseph was brought from prison, from a prisoner to a prime minister. He was only one given the privilege to interpret that dream. And the interpretation of that dream, granted him the second in command in Egypt. It sat him in a place of honor and from a prisoner to a prime minister. So you see, that is the way God works. God uses the storms of life to leverage us. So that's why I see the storms that we are going through in Nigeria. We are going through it for a long time, but our God is not asleep. Some people will ask, where is God? No, God is at work, both to will and to do of his good pleasure in our life as Nigerians. The storms of this country is going to leverage us to a place whereby God has designed for us as a people. So I keep telling the people, I'm advocating for a better Nigeria, whose builder, founder, and maker, I've given you so many points to let you know that God is doing something. God is at work, both to will and to do of his good pleasure in my beloved country, Nigeria. You know, we are living in a mix of poverty. We are in a poverty. So, what do you so what do you say? What is your stake? I pause to ask. Say, what is your stake? I pause to ask. What is your stake of poverty across the world? One thing I want to also bring to your mind, I said it initially, poverty not just in your pocket, you not having money. Poverty is a state of your mind. The Bible says, a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Cambridge, when, they drove him, he was living in a land where there's gold is found. They drove him out of that place, occupied the place, and gold was discovered there. So you might be living in the midst of gold, not knowing. So you see, knowledge is power. The knowledge that you have and you use is what will make you free. It's a process. So knowledge in the earth that we find ourselves, knowledge is paramount in everything we do. The Bible says, a man thinketh in his heart, so is it. So poverty is first of all written in your mind. Even when you are in a mix of plenty, where you cannot see, poverty has eaten deep into your system. So we in Nigeria, we are poverty stricken right now, but we can still stretch ourselves to see the plenty that is in the land. I told you, Nigeria is so blessed in that when you hold a grain of corn in your hand, throw it to the ground. In any part of this country, it's a question of time. It will spring up and grow. The land is fertile. In short, I say Nigeria is not, the name Nigeria was coined for us by our colonial masters. What was supposed to be the name of this country is Greenland, because Nigeria is green from the north, the south, the east, and the west. The land is green, it's fertile. We are fertile on all sides. Nigeria is blessed on all sides. In whatever way you can think about, we are blessed, and we are going places. We are meeting up our targets. We are still striving in the mix of the difficulty, seeing that God will bring us out and make beauty out of us. Remember, God makes beauty out of ashes. You must be ashes of the earth for God to make beauty. So it is said that actually beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You know, who looks at beauty is either looks at beauty is either looks at beauty will know that thing is beautiful. Moasai, you told me about your. Can we pause and talk about your crush? You told me the other time. How is your crush doing? Someone crush. Mohasai, are you there? You told me about your crush. Can we talk about your crush? What's the time? Can you talk about your crush, Mohasai? You were telling me about your crush the other time. How is she doing? You told me her name. Have you spoken to her? What about your sister? I've not seen her on the live stream today. How's your sister doing? How's your sister doing? How is she doing? How is she faring? And how's your family? If you are there, can you talk to me? Tell me more about India. Tell me about the life in India. I want to know. Because I'm just, poverty cut across every sphere and structure of human existence. Every part of the world, there is poor people. You know that? Even in America that you see today, there are still poor people in America. Because God said, He said the poor you always have among you. There's no aspect of human life that you will not see poor people. Because you know why? God is the creator of the poor and the rich. But what matters is our being rich towards God, not being rich towards the world or the material. So the Bible tells us that heaven and earth shall pass away, but the word of God will ever remain. So you see, the word of God will ever remain with us, but all the affections of the world. So the Bible says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his soul? So we mustn't pursue the things of the earth. I'm not saying we shouldn't look for money, but rather money should look, because you need money. I mean, to live on the earth, you need money to give expression to yourself on the surface of that. But you shouldn't go after money, because the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. Don't love money, but love God. Love better, But the love of money is what leads to poverty. Poverty of the mind. If your mind is poor towards God, then you're a poor man. Our wealth is not just towards the earth. It's not what we have in our pockets. It's not our well-being, but it's how close and how rich we are with God. The Bible says we should love God with the whole of our heart, our mind, and our might. That is the reason why God created us. So I want to ask, if you are watching me right now, what is your take about poverty around humanity? What can you tell me? Please make sure you like my live, comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you press the notification button. Each time I drop a video, you watch it. And I'd like to know what part of the earth you are connecting from, because I'm here. I'm talking about poverty in the middle of plenty. Do you know that you can be in the middle of plenty around you, but you are still poor, based on your thinking, your mindset? So think big. Think that you acquire the whole earth, but don't lose your soul. Not loving God. Because the love of the world is enmity against God. When you love the things of the world, the fashion of the world, the craving of the world, you will not want to walk with God. And that's what God calls, an enemy. Well, if you are just joining me, I still remain Okonji Christopher Television. I'm broadcasting from YouTube. I'm from Nigeria. And I'm your friend, because we're a community. I don't see you just as my friend, but you are my brother. If you can take time to listen to me, then you are my brother. And I'm also your brother. I love you, and I beg you to also love me. Well, I have over 10,000 subscribers, and I'm looking for watch hour. So the more you come out when I'm live streaming, you help me to build my watch hour and to also build a community. I can't have even the watch hour, the subscribers, without having the people to watch my videos. When you watch my videos, you are giving credibility to my work. I'm working for humanity. I'm a human rights activist for the child in the area of his education and health, because I run an NGO called Save the Education and Health of the Child Foundation. I'm also an advocate, advocating for a better Nigeria. I see a Nigeria whose maker, founder, and builder is God. Despite and in spite what we go through as a country right now, the storms of life is hitting us bad as Nigerians. But we're not giving up, because God is using the storm of Nigerians to make out a miracle. Nigeria is a focal point in what God is doing. I'm telling you in case you don't know it. And I'm telling you, Nigeria is... we are going to manifest glory. The glory of God is sure to be manifested through Nigerians. Nigerians are blessed. Nigeria is blessed with both natural and human resources. Nigeria is looked upon as the giant of Africa. We're not just only giant in saying, but we're giant in our manifestation. I'm telling you, so much is being done here, so much has been given to us, and so much is expected of us. And I'm telling you, in due time and to the glory of God. So I want you to look out for what God's doing through this nation. If you have ever given up before on Nigeria, I'm to give up. I'm talking here as an advocate, telling you that God has not given up on Nigeria, and God will never give up on it. Despite and in spite what you hear so much things about Nigeria. You hear about kidnappers, you hear about terrorists. Yes, they are everywhere. But the whole of Nigerians have not died yet. I have not died. I'm still alive. And as long as I'm still alive, with people like me that have the same mindset, we'll be advocating for a better Nigeria. Look at what the youths are doing these days. They are fighting for rights. They are fighting for our rights. in the way the government is not fighting for our right. You see, so much things is happening right now in the country that our youth are standing up for justice. We are fighting for our right, and I'm telling you, our right will be given to us. So if you are there, you are not anything that you are not hearing from me is not right. I'm telling you that Nigerians are capable of taking care of themselves. Nigerians are sincere people. Nigerians are sweet people. Nigerians are accommodative people. Nigerians are receptive people. We have a fine culture. We don't live in jungles. We don't live in trees. Nigeria is visible. Nigeria is not a scam. So I'm going to end this live stream by telling you, please hang on to my channel, Okonji Christopher Television. I have shorts. My shorts are meant to ginger and give you, hope. In case you are losing hope, you want to go commit suicide, please don't commit suicide. I'll tell you, if you have failed before, it does not make you a failure. You can still, failure is just is not a tag, it's not a title, but it's a process to get you to success. God has designed you to be successful because He said in His word in Jeremiah 9:11, He said, my thought towards you is not of evil but of good to give you an expected end. So God expects you to succeed, and succeed, you will succeed. Please go succeed as I see you next time. Take care. I love you. Thank you for joining me at this hour.